Almost 70 years after the Supreme Court ordered equal educational opportunities for all children, a CBS News investigation has found many schools fail that test.
The national investigative correspondent Stephen Stock uncovers one important reason: the school building gap.
But it's cold, so how can I focus? Can you please talk to the school to fix the toilets and to fix the building?
So I have to tell you, when I walk down this, I feel like I'm in a prison.
I know, right? Doesn't it? Why would your kids want to come here when it looks like you're in a prison?
Spend any time at all walking the halls of Baltimore's Franklin High with Cindy Smith.
No AC, you can feel it.
And you get a lesson in math that doesn't add up.
So this is a floor that's actually collapsing. Look along the wall. You can see it's dropped 2, maybe even 3 inches. This, folks, is an actual lab for high school students. People attend lab in this classroom.
So we have a typical classroom, tack boards that are a mess, casework that needs to be replaced.
Why can't the school district do better?
Because we don't have enough money for it.
She's in charge of planning, design, and construction for Baltimore City Public Schools.
They're not fixing our school buildings, but they will fix white people's school buildings.
Dr. Richard Lofton shared with us the student feedback he gathered as part of his research project called the Nobody Asked Me campaign, documenting the impact of schools in Baltimore like this.
Wow. So you're saying the second floor is hotter than this floor?
Which he toured with us.
Wow. And I hope the people who are making decisions about education actually come into these schools and walk around and see what we've seen.
CBS stations across the country went into deteriorating schools in high poverty districts with low property tax bases. We found those districts invested on average 40% less money in buildings than richer school districts, with even larger disparities between majority white and majority black school districts. And many state governments make the disparity worse. Our analysis of federal data shows that on average, these states give majority white school districts almost 4 times more money for capital investments than majority black districts. We saw it in Maryland. Baltimore City School District, with a black population twice as high as Baltimore County School District and lower per capita income, got $19 million from local property taxes for capital spending last year. Baltimore County, $201 million. That breaks down to $1,800 per student in the wealthier, less diverse district versus Baltimore City, where it's $244. That's 7 times more.
Is this acceptable?
No, absolutely not. It's just what we have to live with.
And our young people feel in many ways that they've been betrayed by society because of their voices are not being heard.
They should be feeling abandoned by the state because it's the state where the money is coming from.
Maryland already gives both the county and city school districts roughly the same amount for capital spending, $30 million. But the city school district says they need $230 million.
We can't provide the money we don't have and we don't receive. Like, how can I build this addition here if I don't get the money?
We're talking about a disparity that has roots in history.
A history that makes it hard to catch up, according to research headed by Johns Hopkins' Dr. Josh Sharfstein.
For decades, Baltimore has been disinvested. There have not been the same levels of investment in a city that is majority black than in the rest of the state. And the consequences of that are physically manifest in school buildings.
Maryland's legislature 3 years ago began trying to work on solutions.
We are investing in a more equitable system across the state of Maryland than almost any other state in the country.
Lawmakers did that by targeting $400 million for building and repairing schools in lower income and minority school districts, paid for in part by taking excess property taxes from wealthier districts and giving it to poorer districts, and by a sales tax on digital products like streaming and music. Does Maryland need to do more when it comes to funding these buildings?
Absolutely, Maryland has to do more, and we will, and we have, and we will. The plan that we've put forward is the next 10 years.
Those plans won't happen in time for these kids now.
The research shows that schools in worse condition are associated with more absenteeism of kids, more turnover of staff, more asthma attacks by the kids, and frankly, less progression academically.
In a school, you don't have potable water.
In the school, we do not have potable water. Many of
That
our
just,
pipes-
wait, that
Yep.
just blows my mind.
I know, right? Many of our pipes are so deteriorated that lead flows through that water, so that water is not drinkable.
So you can't drink the water.
Cannot drink the water.
You might be wondering why the federal government doesn't help. Well, it's because federal rules set up by Congress do not allow it. The only help they do offer is through targeted grants for special circumstances.